their room and let everyone know we're going live?
I got to make sure that
I did that last time.
I got to make sure I'm doing gallery view.
I'll do it again, Galaxy. Actually, I don't really want to be.
I just got an alert that you're going live.
So
Their room and
so I see
let everyone know we're
Stumpy.
going live.
I see Stumpy. Make sure that
Did that last time.
I got to make sure I'm doing gallery view. Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
But I don't know what's going on with YouTube.
I'll
Now.
do it again, Galaxy. Actually, I don't.
I just got an alert that you're going live.
So
Their room and
so I
I'm
see
tried to do it, but you know,
Stumpy.
we're going live.
I see Stumpy. Make sure that okay. So now we've got multiple. Can you all hear me?
Yep. Do you have your YouTube muted?
Yes. Trying to figure out how to do gallery view. Okay. Trying to figure out how to do the gallery view though.
Oh, you don't want us looking at you the whole time?
No. So it is live. You all can hear me fine, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm trying to figure out where my gallery view is.
I wonder how that would work if neither me or Jason had, I don't know if Jason has a background or not.
Hmm. Well, we don't need all this dead space, dead air. Y'all talk. Galaxy, what do you want to talk about?
Anything you'd like. What about you, Stumpy? Were you gonna play that audio at all? Or were you saving that?
Saving that.
Okay.
I didn't get, I got a different feedback today, so I'm not sure if that is wise, basically.
Oh, really?
I didn't hear back from them today.
That's a bummer. I think everyone would like to hear that.
I muted the YouTube, but what I don't know is if it's working on YouTube or not.
Hold on, I'll check.
I don't know if you can hear me or not.
Yeah, you're coming in good.
Okay. But I don't know how to do the gallery view. For some reason, I'm not seeing that.
You know, you could just change it so it's just a picture. So you don't gotta be, the
Yeah.
only one actually showing.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. Well, I don't know how to get it on gallery view. That's what I'm having trouble with right now.
I know in the Zoom it usually gives me an option to like scroll over so I can see everybody involved. And yours is the only one. It doesn't even look like, maybe that's not even an option is what I'm saying.
Right.
Unless somebody else is,
I know.
got their video on.
In the Zoom, it usually gives me an option to like scroll over so I can see everybody involved. And yours is the only one. It doesn't even look like, maybe that's not even an option is what I'm saying.
Right.
Unless somebody else is, got their video on.
Well, I don't know. It worked fine last week, except for the gallery view. We're getting some feedback, aren't we?
Yeah, a little bit. You got your YouTube audio off?
Yes, it's muted.
Wonder how it's picking that up then.
I don't know. And then to get it on gallery view is what I'm having trouble with right now. I wonder.
Just do it. Do share screen or something.
Yeah, but the last time I tried to share screen, it wasn't working on YouTube. But it was only working through Zoom. Do you remember that?
Hmm. Well, you could always try it. You're the only one that's got video up, so it might be easier that way.
Yeah.
Actually, I wonder if I can do something here.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know, Galaxy, what I'm doing wrong here. Rodney Casting Company, what's up? Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So how to get it on gallery view is what I'm having trouble with. I'm not seeing it. Man, I don't know. I don't know. So my YouTube is on gallery view, but I thought it would do that for YouTube also. And I don't see it under settings. You still there, Galaxy?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay.
We lost Stumpy.
Yes, we lost Stumpy. Yeah, I just don't know why my gallery view is not working on YouTube.
Are you on your computer, right?
Yes. Yeah, I'm on the computer right now. So I guess what we'll do is we'll end it. Because I don't know where the gallery view is at.
You know, it used to give an option to just have like a picture, and it doesn't even give that anymore. So I wonder if it's like a way of forcing people to be on camera.
Oh, that could be, yeah. I don't know. It's just what's weird is
Hold on a second here.
my
Ryan, wait.
my
Just wait
gallery
one.
view is working fine on Zoom.
I'll try something. Does it change anything? Try it now.
No? Of course, there is a delay on YouTube, so. See, last week it worked just fine. I don't know what the difference is now, other than the gallery view. Oh, there you go. What'd you change? How did you do that?
Turn my camera on.
Oh, okay. So maybe it was on your end then?
No, I think it's just there has to be more than one
Oh, okay.
video feed for it to give you that option.
Gotcha. So all you did was turn yours on then.
Yep.
I wonder what was going on last week when Forrest Fenn was on with us. And it didn't work then, but now it's working fine. Hello, Bill. Bill Gorman's in the room.
What's up, Bill?
So that did work. So I wonder if my share will work. I guess I could try that, couldn't I? So I had a couple of things we could talk about.
What'd you have in mind?
Pictures of Jack.
New ones?
Just kind of the timeline.
Oh, okay.
Can you see that?
Hold on 1 second. I'm looking for something.
So it's not translating over to YouTube though.
The gallery view?
The gallery view is fine in on YouTube. Oh, there it is. Now it's coming up. There's just a delay, which is throwing me off. So now can you see that?
Let me see.
Share screen.
Yep, I see it.
Yeah, it's showing up in YouTube too,
Oh, sorry.
which is good. So yeah, I was going through these pictures of Jack, and Jack and Forrest.
Uh-huh.
So the top left one we know is definitely, well, the assumption is because the sunlight is shining in. And these other ones, this is the one where his watch said like 157 or 158.
Yep.
And then this one down here, the bottom center, it says 2 o'clock. So it kind of gives us a little bit of a timeline of what was going on. Now, what's interesting is you would think if this was taken with the same camera, these pictures would all look pretty close to the same.
Gosh, look how much different that chest looks.
Yeah, everything looks different. So the other thing I thought of is, the Omega watch.
Yeah.
So do you know their slogan or their theme?
What's that?
Exact time for life. Or they might say the right time for life. The link between the past and the future.
Really?
Yeah. That's pretty interesting, isn't it?
It is.
So then I got to thinking about, so you know how everybody says, oh, well, that treasure in that chest is fake, Like it could be, is it the chest that Jack found? Or is it, however you want to state that. But what if that Omega watch is fake? Because Omega watches are expensive.
Like how much?
Anywhere from $5,000 to $20,000, $30,000.
Really?
Yeah, they're expensive. I mean, you can get some cheaper than that, like on eBay or something, but yeah, they're not cheap.
I'd be curious to know how much one like his runs for.
Well, but the strange thing was, so I was trying to find one exactly like his, and the one that Jack's wearing there has all the numbers on it. It doesn't have just, a lot of the Omega watches have like the 12, the 3, the 6, and the 9. Or it could be a little different, but it's hard to find an Omega watch with all those numbers on it, the 1 through 12.
So are you saying it could possibly be a knockoff fake? Right?
Well, that's what I'm wondering, if it's a knockoff fake.
Yeah.
Maybe that's
that's a hint.
a hint.
Definitely, I agree.
So I thought that was interesting. I kind of ran into that part of it. Happened to think about that. Yeah, I was just it got me thinking about the Omega watch. And then this here had me thinking too. So you have the picture of the chest up here, the original one we saw, and you see how this stump over here.
Yep.
So it looks kind of like an alligator eye with an alligator mouth. Kind of see that?
Uh-huh.
Well, this over here has kind of the same thing in it. So what I did was I blew it up to where you could see it. See this one right here has got the little eye. This has got the eye. But they're definitely different logs. So people have tried to say that this is the same area as this, which is the Nook at 9 Mile Hole. And I've said that these two don't match. The grass is different.
Hmm.
Did that guy ever get back to you about the coax cable and stuff that Troy clued you into?
You know, I'm not sure. I believe that's what it is.
Yeah. You know,
But
I never noticed that until you and Troy were talking about that. Troy was talking about it.
what, the cable part?
Yeah. I had never noticed this, but I had noticed this part, this metal part, whatever it is, sitting in here. So which makes me wonder if this chest has been put on top of this picture. Because you know, on the outside edge of the picture's got that, it's like a picture on top of a picture.
Uh-huh.
So it makes me wonder if we're not seeing all of this part because they've put the chest on top of it. Another picture.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I think that's a piece of the of an airplane or something. It looks like a lever to me,
Yeah, it
or
does.
some sort of handle.
Well, you know the pulleys on helicopters, like you were talking about,
The cable cutter?
the cable cutter. Yeah,
Yeah.
I found some similar to this, but this part right here was coming out this way. It was in a different location. It was like it, but not exactly. You know, I didn't even notice this, but this chest, look at that distress area in the chest. See that?
You know what? Yeah, you know what I think could be from possibly? You know, like if you stain something and stain a piece of wood and maybe
Uh-huh.
you spilled something on it beforehand to
Right.
where the stain doesn't take in that particular spot.
Yeah.
I think that's what happened there.
Yeah. Could be.
But good luck trying to compare that to any other picture.
Yeah. No kidding. And then another one that here's the infamous Rudy stick. So yeah, what I noticed about this is the original stick that's in the treasure chest, the original picture.
Uh-huh.
See how this piece bows out to the left
Yep.
and Rudy's bows out to the right? You can kind of
Yeah,
see it side by side right there.
probably because he created his off of an image.
Yeah, 3D.
Mm-hmm.
There you can kind of see it. This one bows out to the right and this one bows out to the left. To me, I think it's a 3D image is all it is. He took this photograph and had a 3D because you can see the weathering in there. It's got a lot of grooves in here. Overemphasized on the 3D.
Even if it was a real stick,
Mhm.
all you had to do is find a tree of the same kind and you can make that same stick.
Oh yeah, yeah. But I know a couple of people that do 3D stuff, so it would be so easy to take this stick and replicate it. It would probably look like this right here.
Yep. And he really doesn't even have to worry about the other side. He can just
Yeah.
kind
It's
of blend it.
Yeah,
you
it's
know.
too clean. It's too clean looking, Good job though. So that was one thing I had to share. Let's see. I had something else too. Oh, so you know how Forrest said there's 265 gold coins in the treasure chest?
Yeah.
So what's interesting about that is if you know how I'm always doing A equals 1, B equals 2, C equals 3, and so on. So
Yeah.
265. So the 2 would be a B, the 6 would be an F, and the 5 would be an E, BFE. So have you ever heard the saying, bum blank Egypt?
Yeah, actually.
Blank Egypt.
Yep.
So what that translates to an unspecified remote location or destination assumed to be arduous, which means difficult or tiring to travel to, unpleasant to visit, and far away from anything of interest to the speaker. Middle of nowhere. That's what BFE stands for.
That's funny.
I thought it was, yeah. I fear you'd like that one.
David in the chat is saying some stuff about that coax cable and what it could possibly be. He says aircraft controller stick. What else?
Oh yeah, instead of a coax cable, that is a cable attached to an aircraft control stick. Or sprayer had a control handle with a long cable with it that controlled auxiliary functions. Yeah. And Bill says, I floated Yellowstone with my sticks. There you go, Bill.
It really does.
Bumcluck Egypt.
Chris LaFrida supposedly brought back pieces of his airplane, right? What if
Yes.
he didn't tell us about that one and that's just a piece of it?
Yeah. Yeah. Which makes you wonder, right? So those are two new things that I kind of come up with. I was thinking about that Omega watch. I was like, I wonder what their slogan is for that. The link between the past and the future. So, and then you've got, okay, so let's say Jack's wearing a fake Omega watch. And they're out there because if you you do a little research, there are people who tried to knock off Omega watches because they're worth a lot of money. And so what if that one chest is nothing but a cover for the real chest? I figured you'd like that.
Yeah, but do you think would you think that Jack is legitimate in his find, or because if he wasn't, would that mean that there never was like a chest to find and he was involved all along?
Well, it could have been his hold card. I mean, we know Forrest had several of those chests. We know he had one made for him. For sure.
That's which one's that? The
one from Vignetti's. From Nashville, Tennessee. The guy lives in Nashville, Tennessee.
I still say that those aren't good enough to pull off.
Oh,
What he might have done.
probably not. But what if he used that one for the one you're supposed to find?
The one that's on the lawyer's table?
Right.
I think I could tell pretty easy. Don't you think so?
Well, the one sitting on the lawyer's table is not the one that Jones from Vignetti's made. I think that's his name, isn't it? I want to say Chris Jones, but I don't know if I have that right or not.
Sounds right.
Yeah, I think so. So that's what I was kind of wondering. Looks like Stumpy's coming in the room. Sorry, Stumpy. Did you turn your camera off? Your audio? Okay. I just wanted to make sure because I'm the only one up on YouTube right now.
Hold on a second here.
David said Chris Jones is right. Yeah. So what if the one chest that's at the lawyer's office with Jack and Forrest is the one that was his hold card, but there's another one out there. I know people are going to think we're crazy because we're doing that two chest theory, Galaxy.
I see how you truly feel about it. Hey, try switching.
That's the first time we saw video, buddy.
What's that?
It's the first time there's any video of Galaxy.
Video? What are you talking about?
I see you looking at the charge cables on your desk. There, yep. See.
Yeah.
Don't say you see me.
No, we don't see you. But your hand is over the camera, that's for sure.
Oh, God, you scared the shit out of me.
That would be breaking news.
So, Brian, I was watching what you were saying for a little bit.
Watching me fumble around, was you?
Oh, the best part was the 10 minutes of you just sitting there and us counting the nose hairs. That was the best part. Absolutely. That was the attention getter.
You're counting my nose hairs, really?
Oh yeah. No.
We're crying out loud.
So are you insinuating that the fake Omega means fake ending?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know where I stand. It's just something I just came up with. So.
No, I mean, I thought that was rather clever of you. And I was like, huh.
Yeah.
He proved it's a fake Omega watch.
That would
Yeah.
be pretty big, I think.
Wouldn't it?
Well, I just
That
wanted you to get your credit there because that was pretty good, Brian.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't have any proof. I can't say otherwise, but I just
Yeah.
thought it was interesting.
I don't think you're saying anything except it was a fake Omega.
Well, I'm assuming it could be a fake Omega. I can't prove that. Only Jack could prove that.
Yeah.
And then the fact that, their motto, the link between the past and the future. So, yeah,
My favorite is Rubicon.
Rubicon.
Yeah. The point of no return.
One of no return.
That's what Rubicon means. Check out the definition of Rubicon.
So, yeah, I don't know. That might have people thinking. What'd you think about the bum cluck Egypt, as Bill says? He got it right. 265 gold coin. Silence.
I thought you were talking to Jason, weren't you?
Yeah, I was talking to
I don't know who
Stumpy.
the Jason guy
Oh.
is.
Jason's not with us tonight. Stumpy is.
My name's fucking Stumpy, okay? It's straight.
Stumps Olives.
No.
Look that up.
Yeah, that Jason ain't welcome around these parts.
Yeah, look up Stumps Olives. Pretty interesting. There's stumps in the book.
Oh, come on, Brian. Just let it all out. On the bottom of the jar, it says T2.
Yes,
And then
T2.
and now you're thinking of like Olga and it says T42. 42
Exactly. Exactly.
second chase.
Yeah,
It can mean whatever you want, Brian.
it could. It could mean whatever I want.
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
I tried to throw a plug for you, but I was blocked.
I forgot you were in the waiting room. Sorry about that.
That's all right. I bounced off when I tried to get on the YouTubes.
Bill asked, do they make Stumpy Trojans? Good question. So, Galaxy, anything you want to talk about? I brought up a couple of new things.
I don't really have anything new other than you brought up the lawyer's office pictures and
Oh, yeah.
and then Jason said tea with Olga
Mhm.
and just how I can relate the two,
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah.
I am the
He
coincidental
talks about
king.
me. What'd you say?
Said I am the coincidental king.
Just how like, they met at the lawyer's office and Fenn got what he wanted with the deal with Olga. He wanted the casita, right?
Mhm.
And she invited him into the lawyer's office after she finds out, she's not going to live longer, and basically draws up a deal. And here we are. We have Jack in the lawyer's office with Fenn. The chest is on the table. Jack's possibly wearing a fake Omega watch. I've been saying that for a while, that I think he was offered a deal.
Well, I think he was offered a deal early on.
You might be right. I mean, that's kind of how I view it too.
Yeah. It's quite possible maybe Forrest saw him down on his luck in 2011 when all that went down with Sarah Palin.
He always talks about like how he couldn't have gotten to where he wanted without the help of other great men,
Mhm.
Maybe he was in a way giving Jack a second chance in a way.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it really does much for his reputation, but it's something positive in the media that
Right.
actually probably overshadows anything else you would look up when you type in Jack Stoop in Google.
Mhm.
Probably that Sarah Palin stuff doesn't even show up anymore. It's not going to be one of the first few things that you see.
Right. So when you think about the Omega, the link between the past and the future. So you have to go back and think Forrest gets cancer in 1988, same year Jack is born. And then here they are linked together in the future from the past. Coincidence? Probably, but it's pretty interesting coincidence.
Yeah, he was 32, right?
Well, when he found it, yeah. Well, a lot of the articles, so this is what I don't like about what's going on right now is you read all these articles and you find all kinds of inconsistencies. That's what's driving me crazy right now. It's just like in the Erskine affidavit. It says he got cancer in 1998, not 1988. It's like, my gosh, even in an affidavit for a court hearing, you can't even, the date's not even right. Or is it right? I was reading an article just yesterday from Heather McClatton, McHatton. And in the article, she says he had pancreatic cancer. I'm like, well, okay, maybe that's just a misprint. Maybe she misunderstood. She got Forrest's dad mixed up with, him. And then there's an audio that goes along with the article. So I'm listening to the interview, and she states in the interview that Forrest had pancreatic cancer. I'm like, was Forrest aware of the interview? I would have thought she would have maybe gave him a copy of it, or he had to have heard it. And it's like all these inconsistencies between articles and interviews. It just amazes me. And you've even mentioned it, and I've mentioned it. The one of his things is, I hate it when history is written wrong, but worse is not knowing who to believe. It's like, was this all a plan of his? Predestined to have all these articles and interviews all mixed up in different facts. I don't know. What say you?
I mean, that's kind of almost like Vietnam, right?
Yeah.
It was perceived a lot differently back then than it is now.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when it comes to the people that fought.
Hey, we got Mud Turkey in the I've heard Mud Turkey. Where'd I hear that? Oh, I know Mud Turkey. That's the guy I got an email from.
Is he in your waiting
Charles.
room?
Yeah. Well, he's not in the waiting room. He's in chat. Mud Turkey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's got a book out there. Let me look it up. I'll tell you exactly what it is. So Charles Tyree. I think that's how I'm pronouncing it correctly. But he wrote a book. It's about the Appalachian Trail, and he said he's got a couple of chapters in there about looking for the Forrest Fenn treasure. But it's called Diary of a Dumb Mud Turkey.
Huh.
So I've got it in my Amazon cart. So when I get ready to check out, it's in there. So yeah, and Mud Turkey's the one that introduced me to the Heather I can't even say it. McAlton. Yeah, he's the one that turned me on to that interview.
McAlhatton.
McAlhatton, yeah. No, it was really nice that he reached out to me. And I was telling him about the search. He noticed that I said something about the searcher meetup, and at the Appalachian, the Cumberland Gap area. And he said, "Oh, if I'm not out on the trail, maybe I'll hit you up." Well, that's pretty cool.
Do we lose Stumpy?
We lost Stumpy, yes. He said he had to bounce or something. He got kicked off or something.
Okay. Yeah, I know you kind of think the same way as far as maybe something else happened or was happening all along. I just have a bunch of theories. I don't know what more to say.
Right. Well,
I feel like I've got 100 of them.
yeah. Well, you add in the postmarks in the book too. What are the odds that the treasure's found and postmarks are in the book and
Okay, I got another one for you.
Mhm.
How about how Fenn talks about a long forgotten book on the shelf?
Say that again.
About like a book being a long forgotten book on the
Yeah.
shelf.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what he wanted the treasure hunt to be before it could be solved.
I like that.
Because, once June 6th, 2020 happened, everyone kind of probably put it up.
Right.
There's something more I was going to say to that.
A lot of people have kind of hung it up. Most of them have.
Oh, another thing, as it stands, he outlived his book and what he was trying to do.
Yeah.
I'm with Bill Gorman, how he says you couldn't get it until he was dead.
Yeah, I think I like that. I like that. I've heard Bill say that a lot. You can't have the title until he's dead from his cold dead hands.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Stumpy.
Really sorry, I fell off again.
Oh, you're fine.
Remember what he does to the was it the Time magazine? Doesn't he throw it in the trash and then take it back out?
Yes.
He does take it back out.
Yeah, I think that's the one.
So right there we have him throwing something away in the trash and then taking it back out.
Yeah.
Did he throw Catcher in the Rye on top of it too? In the trash?
I think he did, yeah. And how about how he says he thought he was the main character in that book, right? Or something like that.
The author is just talking about himself.
No, he said he thought
So Mud
It was-
Turkey asked in the chat, do you think the postmark of the treasure is coincidence of the find date?
I don't think it's a coincidence.
Told June 6th and then find out that it was June 5th. And then you find out, well, it was a year ago. It was a year before that he found it. And yeah. And now they're saying September 3rd. They've narrowed it down to September 3rd. What's their significant find that says September 3rd? Is it an email that they're talking about?
I think so.
An email? Yeah. Not an email, but well, it could be an email from that or it's Condor.
I thought,
Which
I really feel like that's all fabricated.
Well,
It-
yeah,
you know-
and it was definitely fabricated if Jack was the hold card from the very beginning. But, I like Jason says last week when he was on, he made the comment about how, somebody who can predict dates and make things happen the way they want it to happen. Isn't that what he said?
yeah, pretty
Well,
much.
kind of, I mean, it's similar to how his dad had it, right? His dad had his funeral all planned out, even though he was dead,
Mhm.
where everyone would sit. I think what songs were played.
Yeah.
Sounds like a wedding.
Sounds like a wedding.
Yeah. What songs are played, when they're played, where people
Mhm.
sing. Doesn't sound like a funeral at all.
Have you all ever read Osborne Russell Journal of a Trapper?
No. No. Why would I read
No,
that?
I haven't.
Why would I read that, Brian? On my own,
Well,
without Forrest Fenn, why the hell would I read that?
Mud Turkey in the chat says, have you read Osborne Russell's Journal of a Trapper? Take a look at what day his final entry was in that journal. So I'm guessing maybe it was June 5th or June 6th. Taking a wild guess.
It's funny, like this could either be Forrest Fenn planting Easter eggs throughout the chase to connect, or it could be somebody doing back engineering, researching and what could look like an Easter egg and pointing it out.
Yeah. Yeah. June 6th. Mud Turkey says June 6th. That's pretty interesting. Wow. I'm speechless. What do you think about that date?
You talking to me? Are you talking to me, Brian James?
Stumpy or Galaxy? Either one. I don't care. It's pretty interesting though. I mean,
About it being the same date.
yes.
Yeah, that is interesting. I feel like I did read some of that book,
Did you?
pieces of it online.
Mhm. Yeah, I've got like 4 or 5 books that I've ordered recently, and I haven't even had a chance to even get started on them. You know, they're all like Codex. I've got Codex. I've got Secrets of San Lazaro. Um, I've got one of Michael McGarrity's books. Kiva's Points. Yeah, I've got 4 or 5 books that I've ordered in the last 6 months and just trying to get them. I need to get them started.
Get them started.
But we're kind of, what's bad is we're just kind of bogged down. I think that's where we're all at right now.
Oh, yeah, I suppose. Well, life is starting to pick up again. You know,
Yes.
it's like once you see the robins, there's a little bit of hope. You know, it's like, I get a little relief from the winter.
Yeah. Double Blazes University. Jason, I don't think Brian knows who I am.
But has a face that he thinks he does.
I wouldn't tell Double Blazes University if I knew him or not.
Oh,
That's the mystery.
yeah.
It's Bill, right? Gotta be.
Uh,
Here I am on the road again.
well, guys, I don't have any more to add unless you guys would do.
I thought we just started the show, Brian.
Well, I know, but I've got honeydew list to do before I do anything.
Well,
So I had something else to share, but I guess I didn't.
there was like a bunch of things I wanted to coin in on, like where the treasure chest was sitting. That looked like a conibear trap to me. That looked like a trap, like a foot trap. Like,
Yeah.
and the
Sit
bait
on the table.
and the bait was sitting on the tongue of the trap.
Oh,
That's
you're
what
talking
that
about out,
Yeah,
out
that
in the
metal
wood.
piece that you saw in the background under the chest. Like if you go back to that,
Uh-huh.
it curls around. It's got where the spring would be. It's the tongue of a foot trap, like a bear trap.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that.
I mean,
Never thought of it as a bear trap.
he used it as bait, right?
Yeah.
That's what I saw when I looked at the picture. I never understood that Chris guy. You were talking about him there, Mr. Galaxy, that Chris guy that like had pieces of the plane.
Chris LaFrida.
Yeah, I never understood that story. Like I never understood it because he never left. He sent somebody to meet people to retrieve it and then come back. But then it seemed like everybody and Forrest and everybody credited him if you listen to the words. Like he went there physically and did all this. And I'm like, no, don't people remember watching him doing that interview with Capro and them? Like, no, he didn't go at all.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm
what
sure-
was the point of it?
Yeah, and he wasn't really even a searcher. And like that just seemed like a lot of money to go out for a guy that's half interested. You know, and I don't know, maybe it's just a challenge for rich people, but still, you know, I'm gonna actually go out and get a piece of this just because I can.
Hmm.
I don't know what kind. I mean, I would believe a story like that a lot more than what it's made out to be.
Hmm.
You know, and it's like and then you're talking about Jack. Well, I don't want to get into that. Like, didn't he do that interview a long time ago? Didn't he work for like the Onion, and then that goes up to like the Buzz, and the Buzz did an interview with Forrest too, and they did the whole episode. Like, and then afterwards, what, like 2 years, 3 years after that, then Jack got brought into the picture again. It's like he was resurrected from like way back.
Are you saying he was the one in the interview?
I was
Or
asking if you think that was him, that voice in the background,
I
that,
think it
that
was.
yeah, absolutely.
But
And half the time the other channel, that other guy, shit, I think he sounds like him too. Pretty soon everybody's gonna sound like that to me.
well, both the guys kind of sound like Jack that are in that room, but the one that's quiet, that doesn't really say much, he only speaks up here and there. That one sounds like him.
It's funny how we could sit here and profile an individual by the way he talks to what kind of atmosphere he is accustomed to. Like, because like you just said, they both sound alike, right? Well, I could imagine them being in the city, obviously. I could imagine them in a kind of an ass kisser position, but not quite, just because they got that timid voice. And I'd hate to say feminine side, but they're not afraid to expose their feminine side.
Mhm.
And you can tell, you can place the individual just by their voice, like where they're
Mhm.
from, like literally probably the job that they have. Sorry, that was a rant. I'll shut up.
It's kind of the same in all his stuff that I've listened to. It's like people got to ask him to speak up. He's got to repeat himself.
It was so funny. I put in the chat in the bottom of your last video, Brian. I put in there. Troy was responding, and Troy, I've always been a fan of yours. You're pretty good shit. A bit abrasive now, but I liked you better back then. Like you were just Troy Barlow. But it was interesting how they're breaking down the frequencies of the voices, in that video, and I was like, like when Jason last week said something about, there's markers in the book for what's happening now, or when Forrest had said them, and do you remember that interview when the guy spoke up and he was kind of douchey, and he spoke up and Forrest goes, "What? I can't hear you. Your voice has a bad frequency. Can you speak up?" You remember that?
Yeah.
And now today, here we are breaking down the frequencies of people's voices. That's not normal. Like, so
Yeah.
like an embedded red thread in the embroidery of chaos, like that is one that I would believe. You know what I mean?
Right.
I would believe those connections because they're
Yeah.
pretty deep where I don't think anyone else made it.
Mhm.
And I don't know, I just file through and listen, and I don't know, I'm stumpy, right? I mean, can't be too bright.
Yeah, why do we got to sit here and call you that when it's clear by your voice who you are?
Old stumpy. What else
So
did you say that was interesting earlier?
when do you think the olive jar, the chest, and the dragon bracelet is going to make its appearance?
Rare, it's rear, it's evil face. Like,
Yes. Yes.
oh, I don't think it ever will.
I
I
know.
think I think all these hints and nudges of other treasure hunts is the beginning of subconsciously like attaching it to being a legend, like Ness's treasure, the other treasure hunts, like a lot of the people are talking about them now, and it's like you're already associating it to legendary
Yeah.
unsolved mysteries.
Mhm.
So I mean, I could predict like the truth, it was all BS, and then everyone goes quiet, and in 2-3 years, there'll be like little clippets coming up, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Of, legendary stuff. And this will be added with those other legendary treasure hunts. And I think that would be awesome because my kids might see that someday and they'll see all my crap I have and be like, Dad was in that. Holy shit. At the time of, like, and he was so crazy back then. Like, we should dig that out and check it out.
Yeah.
And that new perspective is when I think it may show itself.
Mhm.
Because at that point, they won't keep it a secret.
Yeah.
They'll scream it. They'll tell everyone on YouTube, like, oh, look what we found. And it would be, yeah. I think that's almost like an inheritance. Like,
Mhm. So, question for you. So, do you think this ending with the Finn treasure has hurt some of the other treasure hunts that's been going on?
every other treasure hunt that's going on, are you talking about the ones that you find online that are not associated one single bit? Or are you talking about
Just any of them, like Xavier
one?
Marks. Let's talk Xavier Marks. Let's talk the Candyman. You know what they did. I'm just
This will
wondering.
be above that. This is going to go into like hidden gold, how the US Armory shipment of payroll got robbed by Indians and hid in the hill. That's the caliber that this legend belongs.
Mhm. Oh yeah, I'm not trying to compare, say, Candyman treasure hunt or Xavier Marks or some of these other ones. I'm not trying to compare them to the Finn treasure at all. Definitely not.
Yeah, but
I
no,
just
like honestly, I didn't think of any of those when you asked me about where it would be. I didn't even think of those, what you just listed. So
yeah.
I don't, that's where I was.
You know what though? With a lot of those treasure mysteries, there's always a story of it being found, right? But it's not a fact. There's no proof.
Yeah, yeah.
Or there's some sort of mystery about it,
Mhm.
And there's always a murder or a death or some drama. It's almost hyping you up for the movie. Oh shit, that's what we're caught in right now.
Well, guys, it's been a little over an hour. How about we cut it off? How's that?
No,
We can't give too much of our information out, can we?
you actually have an audience, Brian.
I agree.
Yeah.
I can't show all my cards. I was kind of hoping to break out the old audio CD from the hearing, but I've kind of had to put that on the back burner.
Why? Well, that is one that you could actually put well, now it's going to be out tomorrow anyway, since you said something.
Yeah.
It's not going to matter now.
And
Someone's
maybe
got to beat you to the punch, like I guarantee you.
I had to at least throw it out there just to see what happens. Yeah.
Oh,
So
so you want someone, you're luring someone else to do it.
not that I'm luring them in. I'm just like, let's just see what happens.
You're just poking the ego, but now they know that you're bluffing and playing a game, so there ain't shit coming out.
Well, no, I'm not playing a game. I will play it if I have 100% authority to play it. That's where I'm at right now.
Oh, okay.
I've been told I have the authority to play it, but today I got a different take on that, so I'm holding off.
Here,
So,
I got a question for you. What is
yes,
the definition of public? for public knowledge, like what's the definition of public?
Well, that's interesting. You asked that because that's what I was trying to clarify. So when I first asked about playing the audio CD, they said, well, you paid for it, you own it, it is public record. Anybody can get the same thing you just got. They just have to pay the $4 to get it. But today I got a different story when I called for some other reason, and that subject got brought up about the audio CD, and they're like, well, I don't know about that. I don't know if that's correct. Why don't you let me find out some more information on that? So I never heard back, so that's why I wasn't going to really do it.
It's probably a good decision.
Yeah. Now, what I can do, I can share it verbally. 100%, I can do that.
I think that people are trying to make it too black and white. Some things are kind of gray, and those are the play areas, right? The gray areas. Yeah. So like anything with streaming is new, overall fairly new, doing the live streams and stuff. It's not like the rules are implicated, long ago that we know. Like these are changing all the time.
Right.
And so I don't know, when I said public, you as a citizen, right?
Mhm.
Purchase something that was in the public that the public observed.
Yes.
To be public, I think you have to be present, I think. It's
No, not necessarily.
just like, it's like who you keep. I
The gray area
think
comes
it's
in.
the audience. It's literally the audience is the public. I think it's who the audience is. So is public.
Yeah.
I don't know. Interesting to break words apart and just try to figure out the word itself.
Right.
Not what we were taught, but just what is it?
Mhm.
Is it just a piece of another much bigger coded word that we were taught and it's normal to us and it sounds right? It's just that all we have ever known.
Yeah. Well, it's
I feel
like
the only thing that would.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I feel like the only problem would be is if you were just taking little pieces here and there and then like trying to create a narrative. Like if you played it all in its entirety, I don't see how you could get in trouble for that.
No, you're not selling it. So like copyright doesn't matter.
Right. It's not like I'm making copies of the CD and selling them and.
No. And if you're not monetized, you're not. See, that's what I never understood. Like, why would nobody? I think it all started with that green kid. Remember that little Army Reserve green kid? Remember him? He used to do videos all the time, and he was like the first one that wanted to do a reading or do something with Thrill the Chase.
Rodney Greenway.
Rodney Green, yeah.
Rodney Greenway.
Yeah. I like the kid. It's just that I think he was the first one to try to step into that. And I believe Forrest told him, no, he can't do that.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, why not?
I know why.
Because it is, if it's on that's no different than walking by a library and listening to a librarian read a story to kids.
Mhm.
You're not benefiting from it.
Yeah, but Fenn said in one way or another that you needed to like see the images and the illustrations.
Well, yeah, but that
It
doesn't
wouldn't be the same or something.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. But yet he still said no. And I just don't see what it only determines on your perception. Do you think those images matter or not? So the people that they matter will listen to what you just said. But there's a whole 70% of people that don't think that mattered. So they don't care if you can see the images.
True.
You see what I mean? So
Well,
it,
also if you
Fenn would know that.
there might be people that don't buy the book if you can just simply listen to somebody read it, and
But that
maybe you're intended to read it to get your own interpretation off of it rather than just listening to somebody.
I agree. It's listening to your own voice in your head. I agree. Sitting there silently reading it.
Now, if he would have offered to Finn, can I do it, say, as a audible reading of TTOTC and set up proceeds to go to somewhere? Forrest might have probably been okay with that.
Yeah, that's kind of my problem with it is like, why not? It's publicity, if anything. And then if you throw that little catch in there, that little hook, well, you kind of need those images. That's what makes you buy the book.
Well, say I'm an image person, so I think the images go along with the words. So yeah, I can see why Forrest said that, but I'm only in the minority of that. But
And also, you got to think too, all the images were available online. I mean, you could find them all.
Yes. Yep. And Forrest knew that.
yeah,
I did find that the images were odd because there was it looked really good. Like I like to draw. The pictures look really good, but there's always something with too sharp of an angle. A straight line where it shouldn't be. That as an artist, be like, I would have never made that mistake. Never would I made that mistake. So I think those are the changes that were made.
well, now that we're having this discussion about the book, the pictures, okay, the book, the illustrations, and the pictures. Those are three things. 3 can keep a secret if 1 is dead, if 2 are dead. So you've got the writer, Forrest Fenn. You got the illustration person, who was Polk. And you've got the photographer, who was Dottie. Is that his last name? So what are the chances that Polk and Dottie know more than what they've ever led on to? I've also been interested because I'm in the printing business and I understand how printing works. I when I first got into this, probably after a couple of months, I thought to myself, wait a minute. So if Forrest had this book done and he wanted certain things,
And he gone. So, Galaxy, how's it going?
It's going good. We just lost him, huh?
He's froze up. Here, I'm like scratching his nose right now. So, Galaxy, what would you like to talk about, bud?
I don't know. What are you thinking?
I don't like bringing up any topics on any of it.
I think I froze up.
Oh,
There you are. We got you.
Okay, I must have froze up for some reason. See, that's what happened. I picked up the book at TTOTC and showed it, and look what happened. It kicked me off.
yep. Copyright infringement.
Yep, I think that's what happened. But I didn't think. I thought about that the other day. Wait, but there's 3 people that actually worked on this book: the illustrator, the photographer, and the writer. 3 people. 3 can keep a secret if 2 are dead. Just a little theory. Just a little thought.
That almost makes me believe that there was many different chases within the chase and how we all had our own line drawing us in. It's like one boat, 350,000 poles cast. One boat, one man, 350,000 poles. Or 663,000.
Yeah.
So what were you going to say, Galaxy?
I didn't have anything.
Ah.
Really.
Well, here, read the chat. What's the chat got to say? We never talk to the chat. I don't want to read the chat. Brian, it's your freaking show. Read the chat.
I have been.
Well, read it out loud.
I've been watching it.
Well, read it.
Why don't you read it?
Because I can't read. I didn't even read the Thrill of the Chase.
Double Blazes University. Forrest confirmed there was a third party at 2019 Femboree. The third party. Amy says something about, well, that sucks. I'm not sure what she's talking about. Maybe she's talking to Chasing Flinty. Good Lord, Amy the Hoarder has been mucking up every chat recently.
You need to censor what you read.
Poor Amy, my gosh. Whoever Chasing Flinty is.
You're gonna have monitorizers.
Moderators.
Monitorizers. I like to make up words. You knew what I meant. Monitorizers.
I don't have enough viewers for that.
I don't know.
I can't afford wrenches.
They're getting pretty bucky in there.
How about what's another name for them?
Double Blazes University. Was Peggy the third party, or was Doug Preston, or did he consider the solver the third party? Galaxy says, make me one.
Here. I got something for that.
Mud Turkey says,
Oh.
do you think Finn wanted the X to be added back to the poem? Yeah, so I'm a poem purist, to be honest about it. I came up with my solve strictly off of the poem. So I take the poem very serious. I think it could stand on its own, honestly. Now, I got Thrill of the Chase probably about a week after my birthday in 2019. I had just started messing with the poem. So I had already found my search area before I started reading the book. So I'm kind of a poem purist.
Is that your I feel when you said that, my immediate thought, like when you read Bud Turkey's comment right there, my immediate thought was, so I was just about to say before you read that when FF said that he wanted so many things, you know, about the places they've been, you know, like where we're from, what we do. He listed like 5 things he wanted to incorporate in this chest, in this hunt. And Mud Turkey, like, kind of, you know, when he said that one, you know, do you think he wanted to add the X back into the poem? I was like, wow, my mind went to his ex, like his ex-girlfriend, because if he's incorporating everything that's important to him in that poem, and he said that, and do you think he wanted to put his ex back in the poem? Like, do you think he wanted to put his ex, because he cared about her, back into the story? You know, and it made, because there's only one other person that's really named in any of the books in a somewhat desirable way.
Yeah.
And that's when him and Donnie boarded that room and they had 9 people sleeping on the floor. and the beautiful brunette slept under the window. And he kind of just went in description about her. And I just thought like, oh, he had a crush on her, you know? That's the only thing that I really got from any of the thrill of the chase or Too Far to Walk that led to any other female in his past that he saw like that he pictured that way. And
Didn't Fenn sleep on the window?
that was when he was a little kid and he was listening to train tracks. That's when he was like 8, 9 years old. I'm talking when he was like 16, 17, 18 years old. I think they worked at a golf club or a golf course then. They're renting a room and then they sub-rented the room to like other kids, and there'd be a big pile of clothes on the floor and they would just grab clothes in the morning and go. It was like Little Rascals kind of stuff.
Mhm. So Double Blazes says 2019. I told Forrest 3 may keep a secret if 2 are dead. He poked me in the chest and said, "Are you threatening me?" Twice. I said no. I think there's a third party. He said, "There sure is." That's what Bill
He's
says.
talking about the sniper up on the hill watching you argue with Forrest that's going to snipe your ass.
Yeah. So then Mud Turkey says, "I think he did," meaning Forrest, wanting the X. That is why the fourth stanza contains every letter of the alphabet but X. So what's one of the most important? I'm going to make a play off Mud Turkey here. So what's the most important word if you're a treasure hunter in that poem? The word gold. Gold happens to be the very last word of the whole poem in the last stanza. There's your first X. In my opinion. Just throwing that out there. I'll make a play off of what he said. Man, silence. Must got him thinking.
I was actually going to bounce out.
Well, fine. I think we should call it quits anyway. I wanted to
the only part that I think about that is like obviously the word old is the prominent of the story. I mean, you got Shiloh old, you got what's his name old that was in World War II that Finn looked up to.
Robert Old.
Yep, Mr. Robert. And so yeah, I mean so
well, I've told you what new and old anagrams do.
Well, and to finish my thought quick, it's funny because someone he looked up to was named Old. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then there was a story about how he was lucky because his niece married this lady's nephew and he got access to the book collection or something like that, like almost like a little arranged marriage. And it's fun that we have something that was suspiciously an arranged marriage, which I wasn't there. But then now we have in his life, we have someone he looked up to, and then the same last name carried over to his daughter's husband that produced Shiloh. You see how it made that same design?
Yeah.
So what was he able to get access to there then? Like he got the books. Last time there was an arrangement. So now
did I freeze up?
yeah, but that wasn't your computer. Okay. I saw the loading sign in your eyes, Brian.
I'm just shooting for the hips, people. That's all I'm doing.
Nah, you're good. You're good. What was Forrest Fenn saying?
He said a lot.
He'd shoot at was it scissor tail? Yeah, scissor tails. Come on. And then we got a pair of rusty scissors. I was shooting at some scissor tail, you know.
Mhm.
What was he trying to do with that scissor tail?
He was trying to pawn it off to June.
As a-
kind of like what Muddy guy's saying. June 6th. June. We're pawning it off to June. I don't know. Like I
Yeah.
said, everything that's happened is in the book. Everything. You just have to see it.
Be
Yeah.
quiet.
Be quiet. Shut up. Shut up.
Don't
Shut
tell
up.
all the secrets. Crying out
What?
loud.
How crazy would that be though if he wrote about the future events and hid it in the story?
Yes. Yes. Thank you. I believe that's the solve, my friend.
So do I.
That's why he said, I love saying things and no one understands what I'm saying. That's why when he was talking to Cynthia and Mike about Mike wanting the word, he goes, I took you literal. He ain't never said that before. He's the most metaphorical person I think I've. Well, I took you literal there. So I mean, for him to say that, it's it's on the top shelf, in his old thinking cap there. So he does. He plays with that literal or not literal. He plays with that.
Right.
So
You know what I think is
Go ahead.
important to that too is the perspective shifting.
Yes.
Like you can't see it until you couldn't see it until he was dead, until it was found. You know what I mean?
I love doing that perception flipping with watching him in the past because he was very stern man-like, but then he could turn into his grandmother when he was joking or trying to slide a card by. Like you could hear his tone, like his grandmother came out, like the charms that he learned from grandma. That's why I liked him.
Same.
So okay, guys. I'm
I
getting ready to end this stream.
You're in trouble, huh?
Am I in trouble? No, I'm not in trouble.
Well, thank you, Brian, for having me on. I had a good time. Galaxy,
Yes,
always a
Stumpy.
pleasure.
So just as a recap, we figured out that Jack's Omega watch is a fake. Okay. So you might want to go back and watch that. So just saying. The link between the past and the future. Okay, Galaxy.
All right. Good show, guys.
Yep. I'll end this. If you want to stay on for a few, that's fine.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody. Thank you. You guys still there?
Yep. That was a good show.
I just hope I ended it right.
Let me see. I'll check for you. Wait, hold on. You're still live.
Still alive. Okay.
I'll watch what I say.
Okay, still live. Oh, I know what I did.
The thing I didn't let out Jack's my relation.
Oh, thank goodness. Yeah.